Ever wondered how a superpower can topple a government without firing a single shot? Forget massive invasions and declared wars. The real game is played in the shadows, and the CIA wrote the playbook. This isn't about soldiers and tanks. It's about something far more subtle and, some would say, far more sinister. Chaos. The strategy was simple but devastatingly effective. You don't need to defeat an army if you can turn a country against itself. Let's travel back to 1953, to Iran. The country had a democratically elected leader, Mohammad Mossadegh. He made a bold move, nationalizing Iran's oil industry, which had been under British control for decades. This didn't sit well with Western powers. So, the CIA, along with British intelligence, launched Operation Ajax. There were no invading troops. Instead, they used a carefully crafted campaign of propaganda. They bribed politicians, military officers, and even street thugs to create an atmosphere of total chaos. They spread fake news through newspapers and radio, painting Mossadegh as a corrupt, anti-religious communist sympathizer. Protests and riots, many secretly funded by the CIA, erupted on the streets of Tehran. The goal was to make it seem like the Iranian people had turned against their own leader. In the confusion, the military, with key officers on the CIA's payroll, stepped in and arrested Mossadegh. Just like that, a democratically elected government was gone, replaced by the pro-Western Shah. No war, just a whisper campaign that grew into a storm. This wasn't a one-off event. This blueprint was used again and again. Look at Guatemala in 1954. President Jacobo Arbenz started land reforms, threatening the interests of the powerful American-owned United Fruit Company. So, the CIA launched Operation Pubsucks. They armed and trained a small rebel force. But the real weapon was psychological warfare. A CIA-run radio station, the Voice of Liberation, broadcasted propaganda across the country, creating the illusion of a massive popular uprising. They faked news of huge battles and defections, causing panic within the Guatemalan army and government. Arbenz, isolated and believing he was facing a full-scale invasion, resigned. Then there's Chile in the early 1970s. Salvador Allende, a socialist, was democratically elected. The US government saw this as a threat in their own backyard. What followed was a multi-year campaign to make the economy scream. As one official put it, the CIA funded opposition parties, supported anti-government media, and encouraged strikes that paralyzed the country's economy. They created shortages and social unrest, setting the stage for General Augusto Pinochet's brutal military coup in 1973. Again, the US didn't send an army, but their fingerprints were all over the economic and social breakdown that led to the collapse of Allende's government. The Congo, Indonesia, countless other places, the story often rhymes. The method was refined each time: destabilize the economy, control the media, and support any and all opposition, no matter their ideology. So, how does it all work? It's a three-pronged attack. First, you attack the economy. You fund strikes, disrupt supply chains, and use international financial pressure to create shortages and inflation. When people can't afford food, they get angry and desperate. Second, you control the narrative. You fund newspapers, radio stations, and journalists to spread misinformation. You paint the current leader as a dictator, a communist, a threat to tradition, or simply incompetent. You create division and fear. Third, you empower the opposition. You secretly fund political rivals, military factions, and protest movements. You give them the resources and the encouragement they need to challenge the government directly. It's a slow-burn strategy. There's no single moment of invasion. It's death by 1,000 cuts. The government is weakened from within until it simply collapses or is easily pushed over by a waiting replacement. It's a silent, undeclared war, fought not on a battlefield, but in the minds of the people and the backrooms of power. Through these covert operations, from the bustling streets of Tehran to the halls of power in Santiago, the CIA perfected the art of the silent coup. They proved that you don't need an army to change a regime. You just need to control the flow of money and information. It's a sobering lesson in modern history, showing that sometimes the most powerful force for change isn't a bomb, but a well-placed lie. It demonstrates just how fragile a democracy can be, and how it can be dismantled, not with a bang, but with a whisper. Thanks for watching. If you found this look into the shadows of history interesting, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives. See you next time.